Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to G&J Podcast. My name is Michael Mayers.
I'm Chad.
And we're glad to come back to you guys. It's 2020. How you enjoying the new year here?
It was good, man. Yeah. I'm all hyped up like everybody else to accomplish a lot in the next fucking decade.
No, seriously, me too, man. A lot of good stuff happening for the both of us. We're sorry we missed you guys for a while here. We had a lot of stuff going on, but we were interviewing one Raptors super fan, Nav Bhatia, actually recently.
Yeah, we had the honor of interviewing the guy.
That was pretty awesome, and we've been busy, but we're back. And we're going to be talking to you guys about someone who else is coming back, who has a renewed sense of urgency about him. That's the notorious Conor McGregor, who's taking on Donald Cerrone here on Saturday, coming up for when you guys see this. So it'll be super interesting. What are some of your initial thoughts and takeaways from this particular fight?
All right. So, well, to be honest, I think that Cowboy's going to fucking win this because... the matchup, the way that most people can kind of like foresee the fight going is the Cowboy's a slow starter, Conor's a fast starter, so Conor's gonna knock Cowboy out like in the first round. Well, I think that just Cowboy might end up being a little too big, a little too experienced, and also I think we're all kind of underestimating Cowboy when we think that he's not gonna plan for a Conor McGregor who's gonna come to knock him out in the first round. I mean, that's like super obvious for everybody. So I'm thinking Conor's not going to be able to knock Cowboy out right away. And then as soon as he starts getting into the third round, second, third, fourth, you're going to see Conor, regardless of what, is going to gas out. Let's face it, man. I'm going to tell you this. I think it's genetic. Like, I think Firas Zahabi said it, like on one of the JREs. The whole fatigue. Of course, you can work on your cardio. Of course, you can get better. But regardless of that, genetically, some people are going to be better at cardio than others. It's just a fact. It's just the way you're born. Like the way some people are born taller than others. Some people are born with bigger dicks than others. Whatever, Like it's just a part of your genetics.
No, for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, like his cardio has always been something that has had to be in question for one reason or another. Whether you go look at the fights against Khabib or against Nate Diaz or against a whole bevy of people where it's gotten far into the rounds, a lot of his success has come in the first two rounds.
Yeah.
And that's no secret. I'd have to say that on top of that, Conor's going to have to make his damage in those first two rounds.
Of course.
And what's the power going to be like at 170? How is Cerrone going to be able to hold up after this much of fight time in the ring? He's been through wars. When you've been through wars, your chin doesn't take shots the same anymore. I think what's going to dictate this fight more than anything else is Donald Cerrone's mentality. I think heading into this fight, if he's coming into this to do the whole let's have fun, let's get out there and have a good old time and put on a show for everybody, it's going to be a very dangerous situation to head into against someone like Conor who's there to put on a show. He can't come out brawling. He's got to come out with a serious game plan, take this guy extremely seriously, and not go into it smiling and happy and everything. I'm not saying he should go into it emotional. We've seen him fail because of the emotionality before. What I'm saying is, go in disciplined, go in with a game plan, and go in and execute. I think the one spot where he can go and effectively get Conor is his breaking off the clinch.
Yeah.
Both of them are good in the clinch. But those head kicks that sweep up, like the Robert Whittaker style, they look like a knee coming up the middle, but then it's over the top with the foot. Like, he's not the most flexible or the longest legs, but the reason he's taller than Conor McGregor, it's not because the arms are because of the upper body. It's because of the length of his legs.
Yeah.
Much longer legs, and that's why he's 6'1" to Conor's 5'9". On top of it, Conor's very wide and broad in the chest. Much like myself, you have a longer reach because your arms are wider out, and you can when you lean, you got that extra little bit. Conor's very long with his strikes, but again, he doesn't use them to break the clinch range. He usually steps back and does the Conor kind of like wide-legged
to control the distance.
Right, control the distance type of thing. But if Donald Cerrone catches him going back, then you've got a problem there. The thing where I think now, where my prediction comes in is, I think Conor might take this, is because the way that Conor can forward pressure, get aggressive early, and most people try to get the guys to circle into their power punch. Conor knows that he can get the extra length from turning the torso and extending fully. He overthrows his left. He drags his back foot when he throws it. So by design, it's a very long punch, which would leave him susceptible to what? You slipping to the right of the left long cross and hitting him over the top.
Yeah.
With an overhand or with some kind of a strike. You slip out of that way, and now his vulnerable side is the backside shoulder of the strike. But he forces you to go to the inside of the strike, which keeps him safe.
Yeah.
So when you're circling to your left off the cage constantly to stay away from his power punching left, he knows how to turn the hips and hit you on the chin, but he corners you off against the 135-degree cage so that you have to keep circling in one direction where he's not now vulnerable. Because if someone ducks underneath and dips the cross and hits him when they slip to the right, now his whole shoulder is exposed while you can hit him from here. It's completely different when you nullify that and force them to go that way. That being said, again, a cat and mouse type of thing going on. And whoever chickens out from their game plan first is probably the person that fails here. I think Conor McGregor's got what it takes to strike from a long distance and force Cowboy into a little bit of a war. And if Conor McGregor's takedown defense, because one of the biggest things about Donald Cowboy Cerrone is his takedown attempts. He's really, really good at those double legs. He gets deep, he gets your body close to his, and he forces your base to be over top of wherever he's taking your base away from. He turns your weight over there. But the thing with Conor, if his fight against Khabib is any indication, his takedown defense is elite now. Before he's tired. It's elite. His hips were in crazy positions against Khabib where most people would go down. He actually showed the most resolve in terms of that we've seen thus far against Khabib in terms of some takedown defense. Obviously, he was taken down. I'm not here to say that he wasn't taken down by Khabib, but if his takedown defense and those hips that he was showing in that translate, this is going to be a stand-up war for the first couple of rounds, and it might be a very dangerous situation for Donald. That's just me, though.
Oh no, it is a dangerous situation for Donald, no matter what. I mean, Conor's definitely. We saw Conor almost knock out Nate Diaz, who's also much bigger than him, and just can take a punch like hell. But yeah, I don't know, man. I still in my heart believe that Conor will definitely has a chance, but will not be able to finish.
So how do you think Donald Cerrone takes the victory?
So I just want to say this before that. I just think that Cowboy's vulnerability is his midsection because I think other people address that as well.
And we saw some pretty nasty body shots on Khabib from Conor last fight too.
Right. So I think that might be a huge advantage if Conor can press him against the cage, which he will try to do in the first round, and do a lot of body shots, body head and stuff like that, and just really kind of make Cowboy quit like we've seen him quit against Masvidal and other people that
just get frustrated and forced to play their fight
and overwhelmed him with a lot of punches. So we'll see. But again, Conor looks huge size-wise, he gained a bunch of muscle in comparison to
which
before.
Hurts the cardio.
Which cuts the cardio, so it becomes even more smaller room for error for Conor.
Right.
So now also Conor feels I would think that he feels more pressure, even also after the whole layout. His whole career is pretty much on the line. Cowboy's career is not on the line right now.
Right.
In a way it is, I guess, because yes, it would be a huge win if he wins. But at the same time, if Cowboy he loses, who fucking cares? Would you be oh, Cowboy sucks? No, I'd have the exact same respect and interest in Cowboy to see him fight in the future.
Sure. So you're saying Conor, if he takes this loss, he has more on the line, and that pressure is going to add to his ability to lose.
Because if Cowboy loses, Cowboy turns around and fights again in 2 weeks or something if he wants to, and he's going to get the same numbers he's always got it, and everything's going to be the same. Life continues. Actually, he still might get higher numbers just because of the rub that he's going to get from Conor. But Conor, if he loses, think about it.
Honestly, I think if Conor loses, he's still going to be in there. I think
I'm not saying he's going to quit necessarily, but
I think he wants to fight 3-4 times this year, and he doesn't want to do what he was doing the last little bit. I think his fire is back. The way he's talking, I feel has changed a little bit. With that interview with Ariel Helwani when he was just in front of the green screen in Ireland, and he was talking kind of squinting. Yeah. That didn't seem he seemed like he was lost. Still trying to figure out who he is. He did a recent interview, and he wasn't emotional talking about anything other than Khabib. I don't think he's ready for no Khabib rematch immediately after this. That would be a huge mistake in my mind. But I think Conor's back in terms of he wants to fight because he wants to fight.
Yeah,
His
I agree.
desire is back, so I think he'll be there to fight. if he loses to Cerrone, the magic of the mystical Mac thing is going to dissipate, but he'll still be a huge draw. But what I will say is this, is I think Donald Cerrone's best bet, if he's going to finish the fight, is going to be via head kick. He has the most head kick KOs in UFC history. He likes to do that step back, right high kick, coming over the top and hitting guys. He did it to Matt Brown. He'd throw a feint jab and then follow it up with the leg over top afterwards. Like, we've seen that happen, and like I said, off the clinch, he's going to have to clip Conor with something like that if he wants to hurt Conor. But I don't think we'll see a passive Conor. He's going to put his balls to the wall, and can Donald Cerrone survive that early onslaught? We'll see. Because we've seen Conor McGregor have good scrambles, but always leave his back vulnerable to getting choked, and he loves the rear naked choke as Donald Cerrone.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
What's your method of victory there?
Honestly, I was gonna say submission for Cowboy, because I don't see. I know the head kick argument is a good argument for sure.
That's catching a guy who might not be coming in and brawling and stuff.
Right,
I don't think Conor's getting clipped with that, but it's possible off the clinch break. Off the clinch break only is the play. I don't think you're gonna catch him out of nowhere from range,
but I'm seeing Conor get tired. Eventually ending up on the ground with Cowboy.
Double leg and just...
Yeah. I think...
Because on the ground, a tired Conor is going to be in trouble.
I'd say round 4, rear naked. Or an armbar, but I'm like leaning more for
another submission loss for Conor McGregor on the books for you. I'm gonna go Conor McGregor via second round TKO.
Oh wow! Okay.
I think he's gonna catch Donald early. He's gonna hit him in the first round, get confidence, come out the second round like a bat out of hell. Donald Cerrone's gonna maybe throw a double leg that gets stuffed. He's gonna have that one big exhale, and then it's just gonna be body shots, head shots. I think we're gonna see some old school Conor, letting everybody know what a invigorated and motivated Conor looks like in the UFC. We've only seen him against Khabib in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And I think that's the toughest test you could do, is take time off and face a guy like that.
Of course.
I'm not saying Donald Cerrone's a tune-up fight. He never will be. He should not be disrespected in this. I agree, for the sheer fact that I think Donald could go and take the win. If I had to go put bets down, it's funny. Look at Vegas agrees. It went from 5-1. Like in favor of Conor, to 2.5 to 2-1.
Yeah.
So the second place that was announced in welterweight at least. Mm-hmm. So obviously the weight matters. Las Vegas sees what we see. It's going to be a tight fight. I'm really excited to see what happens there. And quickly we'll touch on the rest of the card here.
Yeah, sure.
Holly Holm versus Raquel Pennington. Pennington's extremely tough and durable. Holly Holm, obviously, she had her notoriety against Ronda Rousey, but it's been a mixed bag ever since.
It is.
What do you think comes out of this fight?
Yeah, like you said, it's been a mixed bag for Holly Holm, like since her epic victory over Ronda. I think that regardless of all that, though, she's pretty much faced only the best in the last few years. So I think that there's still a level, more of a discrepancy in the level in females MMA between like the top 2-3 whatever fighters there are and the rest of the fighters. Like it's still kind of like the earlier days in male MMA, you know, where like you could see people that are like, why the fuck is Forrest Griffin fighting Anderson Silva? Which I know at the time it didn't sound like that, but you know what I'm saying, skill wise there was such a big gap between the two. So yeah, anyways, I'm putting Holly Holm in that higher category, and I think she's gonna just outclass her. I don't think she's gonna finish her, but I'm thinking just point her out.
I agree with you. I got Holly Holm in that one as well. The next one up, we have Maurice, the crochet boss, Greene, who loves to put the crochets on. His eyes are crazy. You can just tell. And then obviously you got Aleksei Oleinik, the Ezekiel Chokemaster himself, the boa constrictor. Obviously a seasoned veteran. Maurice Greene, obviously, the biggest thing to point out here is he's 6'7", so he's really big. And Oleinik is 6'2". But obviously with the submission prowess of both of these fighters, who do you have coming out of this one?
Well, like I would have picked what's his name, Oleinik, but honestly, his last fight, was it him that fought in Russia? I think it was his last fight or whatever. And he got knocked the fuck out. I forget by even who. But
I remember that it was a really tight shot, a really tight hook to the face, and he dropped and he hurt his knee.
I remember that. I don't remember the details exactly, but I'm pretty sure he got knocked out in Russia, in Moscow. I don't know, man. He looked so slow. It was just comical for me. It was like, bro, this guy looks like he's been hit by a truck and he recovered.
It was against Walt Harris.
Yeah, he got knocked out
in July of last year.
That was in
and
Russia.
Walt Harris hit him with a really tight hook, and he dropped.
That's right. But that was in Russia, right?
I believe it was. I'm gonna look this up right now.
Okay.
AT&T Center is in San Antonio.
Okay.
Regardless, he got dropped.
I'm pretty sure Oleinik is pretty slow right now. In
First round knockout against Walt Harris, and that's a big deal. You're heading into this fight. You're facing against Maurice Greene, who's not necessarily as much of a knockout artist, as much as he is a submission guy himself for his finishes. But Maurice Greene starts off his submission for the most part with the striking with his hands. So I'd go and say that Maurice Greene is probably gonna get a knockdown that might lead to maybe a submission or just a TKO in general.
First round TKO for Maurice Greene.
Next one we have is Cláudia Gadelha versus Aleksei Grasso, the exciting Mexican fighter as well. Who do you have in this matchup, just quickly as we round out the main card here?
Honestly, I don't really know much about
Aleksei
Grasso, although she looks cute as hell. Yeah, I mean, obviously I got Cláudia Gadelha, but yeah, I don't know much about the other two.
I'm probably gonna go with Aleksei Grasso. She's got some really good striking. Okay. For those who are initiated, she lands a lot of. So she hasn't faced anyone of Cláudia Gadelha's skill level.
Exactly right.
But so far in her fights, she's got good strike defense. Her defense is 65%, which is pretty good. Absorbed is less than Cláudia, and her landed is nearly double of Cláudia. So I'm gonna say that Aleksei Grasso is gonna come out there with her striking style and really come out there and try to make a difference that way. Now, Cláudia Gadelha could make her life a lot easier with a takedown and just control the ground on the ground, right, like that. The submissions necessarily aren't like the calling card of Aleksei Grasso. So if I was Cláudia, I would just go and try to get the takedowns in. But who I would want to take in this fight, I just want to see some new blood. So Aleksei Grasso, my gut pick is with you.
Okay.
And we're gonna round out the main card here with Anthony Pettis versus Diego Ferreira. Who do you have in this with Anthony Pettis here fighting at
again? I haven't seen much of Mr. Ferreira, but
he's more of a submission guy. Yeah. He's gonna come out there. He's gonna try to strike a bunch. Very much of a brawler, close the distance, try to get the takedowns. He'll throw a bunch. But
how
maybe
much
not
is it shorter? Can he go to?
It's 5'9" versus 5'10".
Okay, I thought it would be actually more, much shorter. It seemed like from their body composition, but
he actually has a reach advantage too.
Okay, wow, okay. Well, I still got Anthony Pettis due to just his vast experience and just the wide range of tools that Anthony Pettis has, just the striking and also his submission game is pretty good. He's a good grappler, Anthony Pettis.
I'm gonna go with. I was gonna go with Anthony Pettis, to be honest with you, and I don't know why, but again, the gut feeling says Diego Ferreira. He's at 15-2. He's on his way coming up. He's trying to make a name for himself. First real major household name that he's taking on here with a lot of appeal. This is a great opportunity for him to open the main card.
I'm not sure why Anthony Pettis would take this fight, to be honest.
It's a dangerous fight with a lot to risk here for a guy who's coming off of, a couple devastating losses of one sort or another, and it's just tough. It's just tough. That one thing with Nate Diaz was last after he had knocked out Stephen Wonderboy Thompson for the first time in Thompson's career. This is him coming off of a loss to Nate Diaz now in what was a war. He's back at 155, and he's taking on Diego Ferreira after going back down. So we'll see what happens here. Hey, if Showtime looks how he looked before when he looked at 170 against Stephen Wonderboy, and he feels more comfortable at lightweight, I understand it and I can respect it. But if Diego Ferreira is going to come out here and make a name for himself, this is an opportunity against a very game Anthony Pettis, who's not unbeatable. Let's just put it that way.
Of course he's not unbeatable, yeah. He succumbs to if he's pressured to the against the cage a lot with a lot of strikes and stuff like that. That's how we've seen him succumb to just give up and stuff. So if that guy can have the juice to fucking push him to that limit, then yes.
I'm gonna say that I would put my money on Anthony Pettis, but if I wanted to just put a standalone bet, I'd probably put Diego Ferreira just as a standalone to try to win some easy cash because I'm sure he's the underdog here.
A very dangerous fight for Anthony Pettis either way.
It is. And that's pretty much the main card there. Hey guys, let us know in the comment section below what you think about this whole card in general. But yes, Donald Cerrone against Conor McGregor. Let us know what your predictions are. Do you agree? Do you think Conor McGregor is going to go out there in the first or second round and take care of business, or do you think that Donald Cerrone will weather the storm and finish him off with a submission, as Jad pointed out. So let us know in the comment section below. Really glad to be back with you guys. I know it's a little longer, lengthy video here, but we'll catch you guys on the flip side.
All right. Peace out, guys.
Toronto, baby.
Yeah.